Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. For today I didn't really prepare something very informative, but I got an idea about 2 or 3 days ago to make a video to compare each class in grinding speed in PvE, because I kept on thinking for a while that my wizard grinds very fast in PvE, but I actually have no idea what is the grinding speed of the other classes. So what I want to do is to basically set one rotation as default and show you guys what that rotation is, and then ask whoever wants to help to basically contribute with data of their grinding speed on that one rotation with a set amount of attack power, and of course grinding as fast as they possibly can, so that I can basically compare the results from different classes with different levels, different attack power values and so on, to see what is the difference in grinding speed, as in the experience you can get per minute on the same rotation for different classes. So the reason why I'm actually asking you guys for data is because I myself only have 3 classes that I play. I have my ranger, my wizard and my recently made berserker that you see on the screen right now. So I can only test the grinding speed for these 3 classes and only at a certain level. Like for example, my berserker is 57 and my 2 other classes are both level 60 and they both have high level gear. So that's why I'm asking for data from you, because I want to see basically different levels of the same class or different gear scores of the same class on the exact same rotation, to see what is the difference, how they improve, or which class grinds faster than the other and so on. And also I think that it should be a very interesting idea for a video, because I'm pretty sure most people are wondering what is the difference in grinding speeds between classes, because people always say that Musas grind very fast or that wizards grind very fast, but I actually want to confirm that. So if I actually got you interested to actually contribute with data to this test, then let me tell you what are the rules for this, because I want everyone to basically grind the same way and tell me exactly the information that I need, so that I don't have problems later to calculate the experience. Also, everything should be displayed on the screen, so it should be pretty easy to follow. First things first, you have to grind on daytime, because I just don't want to have to deal with that issue of some people saying that nighttime is 50%, others 35%, others 30%, so just grind on daytime to avoid that issue. Secondly, since this test is meant to show how fast a class can grind, then I would like you to actually familiarize yourself with the rotation, so you can know how to do the rotation efficiently, and then grind as fast as you possibly can that rotation, and also try not to loot anything from the ground. Just let your pets loot the drops, because it's going to give you more time to actually kill monsters. For this test, you don't really have to grind too much. You can just do the rotation as fast as possible for 10 or 15 minutes exactly, and just like I do on my videos, make a screenshot when you start and then another screenshot when you finish. So I can basically see the experience you had when you started and then when you stopped. Also, when you make the screenshots, make sure one of them has your inventory opened, just to basically see the gear that you're using. Also, I would suggest you use some form of stopwatch instead of the whisper chatting game or the normal clock, so you can basically grind exactly 10 minutes or exactly 15 minutes, because that's very important. If you grind 20 seconds more or 20 seconds less, that's basically an error in experience. So try to grind exact amounts of time in minutes. Now about the experience, before you start the test or after, however you find it more easy to count, just try to add up all of your experience buffs that you had, so that I can basically reduce the experience to 100%. So basically, if there was an weekend event buff, then count that. If you have bonuses from titles, from pets, from gems, from value packs and so on, just add all of those up and I will have them displayed on the screen, so it will be easier to actually find them. Probably the most important rule is this one with the experience buffs, because everyone's experience will be reduced to 100%. So if you have more buffs that you didn't count, then the experience will not be accurate. So I know it already sounds pretty complicated, but trust me, it's not. After you basically read the rules once or twice, you're going to see that it's not that complicated. And just to add up, there's some more that I want to talk about. So one of them is to actually let me know what gems you have on your armor, because some people have attack power gems, others have accuracy gems, and I don't really know what difference those make in PvE. And the second one is that I would like to also get a third screenshot of your add-ons, just to see if you have PvE damage or accuracy or movement speed. I'm not sure if I'm going to be counting those, but I just want to see if some people have the 20 monster damage or not. Now that's about all for the rules of the test. Now there's only two more things that I want to talk about. One of them is the attack power that you're going to have to use, and the second one is the actual rotation that we are going to be using for testing. So for the attack power, I decided to ask for two different values, but if you only want to do one test, then you can just do the one with the best gear that you have. So one of the tests is going to be with a default level of attack power, so that I can basically compare different levels of the same class while they have about the same gear. So for that default value, I decided to use 160 attack power. So try to remove accessories, or basically just try to get as close to 160 attack power as you can, and then do one test, and then for the second one just use your best gear that you have. And if you don't have 160 attack power, then just do one test with the gear that you already have. For the actual test, as I said, you can just grind 10 or 15 minutes, and if you want to do the test only once or twice, as I did in some videos, that's up to you, but usually two tests just allow me to make an average out of those two to get a more accurate value. But if you only want to do one test, that's perfectly fine also. I'm just trying to see if I can get data from every single class in the game and then compare them to each other. So basically any data from any class is going to be helpful to me. Now for the actual rotation, I decided to use Bandits and Sausans. So there's going to be two areas that you can choose for testing, or if you want you can just test both, because that's going to be the most useful. So I decided to use Sausans because this is a low level area and it already has the AP cap implemented, so it should be helpful to actually make classes grind at about the same speed. And also, since Sausans is low level, then anyone from level 56 and up can basically have a chance to grind fast here. And the second area that I want to test is Bandits, the cliffside rotation on Bandits, because this is a pretty unpopulated area compared to the other Bandits rotations, and also the groups here are not too spread, not too compact. It's just a decent rotation that should be fair to every class. And also it has no elite monsters, so there's no chance of dying if your DP is pretty low. Now the actual rotations themselves will be first off displayed on the screen, which already are on the footage playing on the background, and also I will have a map made at the end of the video in case you don't know where to find the location of those rotations. So I already said that for Bandits I'm going to be using a cliffside rotation, so you can check the video on the background to make sure you're grinding exactly the same groups. And also for Sausans, I will be using the extra rotation that I showed on the previous video, just because you have a better chance to find that one empty, since Sausans lately is very populated. So in case you actually want to do the Sausans test as well and not only the Bandits one, then just do that extra rotation. Now that's finally all the details about the test. So once you're done testing the areas, just take the screenshots and basically everything you have and put them all in a folder and make an archive out of that folder and send it to my Discord server. Or you could just upload the individual screenshots, but it would be much harder to actually link them together, which one is from which person and so on. So if you make a folder, that will be much easier. So the link to my Discord server will be on the video description, because that's probably the easiest way I can find to actually gather all of the data from everyone else. So yeah. In my mind, the first time this video was actually meant to be about 6 minutes or something like that, but I'm already past 10 minutes or 11 I think, so I'm just going to make a short recap before I end the video to make sure that I didn't rush or talk too much about the details, just to make sure you understand how this works. So first off, don't grind on night time and just grind on daytime. After that, just try to learn the rotation and grind it as fast as you possibly can, and don't loot anything from the ground manually. Then make sure you know every single experience buff that you have, and also make sure you grind the exact measures of time. As in, use a stopwatch or something like that to grind exactly 10 minutes or exactly 11 minutes, how much you want, but just make sure it's exact amount of time. Then after that, make sure on your screenshots you show your gear, just so I know exactly what AP you had, and basically if you had boss armor, if you didn't have boss armor, and so on. When you start the test and when you end it, so basically on those starting point and ending point screenshots, make sure to also use the whisper chat, just to basically show to everyone, if they are interested, the exact time that you grinded, because the whisper chat also shows the time. Next, there's the gems and the add-ons, so let me know what gems and add-ons you had on your armor. And lastly, of course, there's two different values you can use to test. One of them is 160 attack power, and the other one is whatever your best gear is. So just either test both of them, or just test the one with your best gear. And lastly, again, check the videos on the background and the map at the end of the screen, just to make sure you grind exactly the same rotation. Now I'm finally done with the video, and the first thing that I want to say is that I know I pretty much said a lot of stuff on this video, and I'm not sure if I explained myself properly, but I really hope I can get data from every single class, just because it seems such an interesting idea to basically compare every class and see which one grinds the fastest, which one is the slowest, and what is the average between them. I mean, what would be an average grinding speed between each class? Also, something very important that I forgot to point out yet is that I'm going to basically have that chat on my Discord server and this test running until the next Wednesday, when the maintenance comes. So you have time until the next Wednesday to basically test these two rotations, or just one of them, however you want to do it. And after Wednesday, I'm going to basically compile all of the data and make the video for the next Friday. So just know that if you see this video after the maintenance, then just know that the data is no longer going to be useful. So yeah, that's about it. I hope this video is going to turn out into something useful, and I hope I can actually get data from every single class, because it will be pretty bad to actually get the data from every class except one. So yeah, the video is about over, so thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.